we need to include this into it. Secondly, I would also request that while we sort of refashioning our mindsets, we must think of ADR, which stands for Alternative Dispute Resolution. For a minute, we sometimes think it's a separate little system on the side. These are the courts, and then there is ADR, and should we go to that side? I think that also requires a little rethink. I think ADR or all these other avenues are complementing the justice system. They're part and parcel of the justice system. So to think that ADR is yet some other entity outside the justice system would be wrong. It provides multiple avenues to decide your disputes, one being the court, but there are other avenues also. They're part and parcel of one big justice system. And if like that makes things far more clear, rather than thinking that ADR is some separate entity that we go to as if we just leaving the justice and going somewhere else. That's not how it is. It's one big justice system which includes mediation. The system is nothing but service delivery of dispute settlement. So dispute settlement, one way is to do mediation. Do not think of the courts to be the only. No, it's not. It's just one big part and parcel, and we've been now talking about it also, that it is justice system and everything complements each other. So my request would be that we must change our mindset and start looking at our disputes to mediation and arbitration rather than rushing to the courts, and the courts should come at the end. And I just want to quote this Sandra O'Connor, because everybody, just rushes to court. Stay order le lo, ye kar lo, wo kar lo. That's not how economies run. That's not how countries run. Because if you were to look at I don't know, there are lawyers sitting here. Very rare would you see a main case getting decided because there's so many cases, there's so much rush in the courts that they're just doing, quite, work like bails and stay orders. So a country or a nation can't progress on the basis of stay orders and, bails. We need to substantively decide. One other point that I wanted to make, which gives mediation a great philosophical value also compared to, in litigation, you might lose out on a relationship. You might sever a relationship in litigation because litigation could have any sort of but mediation, you keep your relationships, and that's what I wanted to add, that we must think of a communal relationship must always stay and should not go away. You also realize that litigation has its own pitfalls. Lawyers are sitting here, and you understand that adjournments, strikes, very frankly, we talk about this amongst ourselves, that these are very chronic problems with litigation. So fixing litigation would be a big challenge, and maybe it is done at some stage, but it is very important to bring in this new system of ADR into the mainstream and think of it as a mainstream system. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm so happy that Dr. Abdul Fareed and his team is here with the Malaysian International Mediation Center. I invite them to come to Islamabad, visit the Supreme Court this time or next time, and also visit our Federal Judicial Academy, build linkages with that also. We look forward to working with you. I'm so happy that IBA has already reached out to you and training people. Training is certainly a very essential component of this, because we've trained a number of judges in Pakistan earlier, and we are, inshallah, going for our first pilot ADR center, court annexed in Islamabad in a couple of months. And so judiciary's focus is to have a court annexed.
कराची में जस्टिस मंसूर अली शाह का तकरीब से खिताब जारी था। उनकी जानिब से कहा गया कि पाकिस्तान में 2.4 मिलियन केसेस हैं।